All right, hey, welcome back to the tour. We're getting down to it now. Today is going to be the hardest stage of the tour in terms of climbing. And we'll actually hit the highest point in this year's tour in the mountain after the one we are on now. So the battle for maybe now all of the battles have been resolved. Maybe not, we'll see. But in just a moment here, I'll start painting the guy who is wearing the polka dot jersey. And sadly, try as he might, the American Nielsen Palace, who's held the jersey for quite a few days and lost it 2 days ago, was tied but lost on the tiebreaker, and then yesterday didn't score any points, whereas Giacone picked up 5 on the time trial stage. So Nielsen got into the break, but even before reaching the top of the first climb, his legs just kind of blew. And he's been so aggressive, it's no big surprise. And we're deep into the tour now. So Giacone is, at this point, the outright wearer of the jersey. But the final climb of the day, that high climb I was just referring to, will be a bonus climb, and we'll have double points, so 40 points on offer, with both the white jersey and the yellow jersey attacking each other and trying to win the tour. There's a chance they will be in the points offering as well, and if they get over that climb, either one of them get over it first, possibly second or third, Giacone's jersey goes to them. Now, since they're the white and yellow jersey, he'll still be wearing it, but he won't be leading that competition. So now that I've gotten the cyclist done, the real reason I'm painting this image, other than it's the race, is my favorite fan of the tour, favorite roadside, and most everybody's favorite roadside fan is the devil, Didi Stumpf, who has been at the side of the tour for as long as I can remember. One of you all may know how many years he has been dressed as the devil and leaping and jumping as the peloton goes by. And I was just discussing with Bridget, I figure he's got to be in his 70s.
Maybe 60s.
No, I
70s.
think 70s. He's been around a long time, and everybody knows him.
Yeah.
But
As long as the hills, as old as the hills. He's as old as the Alps.
There you go. He's as old as the Alps, and that's where we usually see him, along the climbs, cheering the peloton on, leaping high in the air. Just got to figure out how to make it look like he's leaping high in the air. Some of that will have to be the shadowing. But they are on this brutal climb. It's just cliffs
assuming it's
rocky crags all around them.
You want to be on the edge.
And while there are a few pine trees right here on the edge, I'm sure it's a pretty sharp drop off on this side as well. So yesterday I painted someone. Oh, and there goes Pippin. And he's got everybody else to go.
It's a dog.
Oh no, not a dog walking up the street.
Thank you. I don't...
Okay, so that's the line work laid in.
George.
I'm thinking maybe the shadow will help.
Those are some cool shadows.
Show how high up in the air Dee Dee is.
Someone bless me.
God bless you. It's allergy season.
Yeah. Old couch seats.
So starting as I always do with the areas of yellow and then working my way through the palette. Just double checking that that's all the yellow I got. And then we'll move on to the next lightest, which, with one exception in the tour, is the flesh tones. Still find it interesting that people ride the tour without gloves. Or some do, some don't. Just can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine crashing the way some of these guys do and jump back up full stop. But crashing without wearing gloves and putting your hand down to brace yourself for the fall and scraping all your hand off, maybe, you know, given what I do for a living, I worry more about my hand than some.
You're an artist.
My hand's rather important. But it's not like a cyclist doesn't need his hands too. That was a big speculation at the start of the tour on how Tadej would go, having broken his wrist earlier in the season. Would he be able to hold the bars well enough to really be able to race well? Up until yesterday, they were so evenly matched, it was stunning. And even still, and of course a lot of people online were kind of going, well, there's a lot of things going online about where the race is right now. It annoys me a little bit that everybody's going, oh, well, you know, if he did that well, he must have been doping. Which, just because a rider has a really good day, doesn't mean he didn't do it cleanly. What's more suspicious is when somebody has a bad day and the next day they have an incredibly good day. That's when you can go. It wasn't like Vingegaard's great day came out of nowhere. He's been writing exceptional every stage. He's already had one bad day, and even that didn't let his main competitor get back or take the yellow jersey from him. Just forgot the polka dots on top of Cicconi's helmet. Now, since I just did that little bit of ink, I want to avoid that for a few moments and let it dry before I go back in there, because otherwise it'll pick up the ink a little bit. Intensify the red on Dee Dee's tights and sleeves under his cape. Oh, speaking of cape, got that part. So I don't think I finished the thought I had about the rider yesterday, the fan yesterday dressed like the devil. And if you go on my website or the cycling blog, you'll find the painting entitled "The Devil's Wife." I'm not 100% sure it was a woman, but dressed like the devil. Not quite the vigorous response that Dee Dee provides for the Peloton from. But it was interesting that her horn hat was the reverse. It was a black hat, a red hat with black horns, and Dee Dee's is a black hat with red horns. And her trident was all red. I have seen Dee Dee have his trident have water bottles that he's collected at the tour over the years as the arms on the trident. And just behind here, the blue jersey is the Groupama rider and French favorite, Thibaut Pinot. He was reportedly riding his last Tour de France. Still looking for an elusive stage win. This year, he's had many in the past. So one of the press photographers has stopped to photograph Dee Dee leaping wildly in the air. Maybe that this
I think he uses his spear thing
to launch.
well, not to launch, but to be careful that coming down. You don't want to fall on that one.
I don't know if you heard Bridget back there, but she's sure that the trident is used to stabilize Dee Dee's returns to Earth. Not a wild consideration. So now we're going to start moving the house. So I've worked through all the worms, of course, starting to lay in the blue. In just a moment here, I will start shifting towards the background, what's behind the riders. Like I said, this is all just cliffs and crags, rocks, as the road is cut into the side of the Alps. We are on, what climb are we on? The Comé de Roseland. All right, now I'm going to shift over to the greens. I think I'll get first this relatively bright green of the grass on this side, which appears just a little bit of foliage and such caught in the crags of the rocks. And now, actually, so see we've got, this is the edge of the road over here. And again, the bright grass going along the edge of the road. And notice how the brushstrokes go up and down to kind of capture that blades of grass look. And now we'll mix it. First we're going to do the highlights on these trees. Which gives you an idea how dark I plan to make them, if that's considered the highlight. And the way I want to darken this is adding the same combination of colors I used to make my black, but make it more green. So it's basically, I'm adding a little bit of purple to this green. I'm going to let that dry a little bit and throw some more green on top of it because it's just a little dark. But in the interim, going to make now the true black. And as I do this, I see little things that I miss, but I can always come back. But when I want to come back from painting the black, I got to make sure I get the brush nice and clean, because otherwise it will pollute the color. But since I have black on the brush, I'm going to go ahead and do all the black first and then come back and make those corrections. And of course I'm saying black, but as you can tell, that's not truly black. because it's getting a little too little pigment, too much water, I'm going to go ahead and lay in the general, and then I'll come back and make another darker one to show the folds of Dee Dee's cape. First, a little bit of grass right there that I missed. Might as well go ahead and hit all of these. The yellow of the Lidl Trek logo. Now I have to put blue around there and there and there, but I don't want to do that while that yellow is still wet. So I'll go ahead and make another black. There, now you can see more of this. Gives more of a sense of movement in his cape. And we see the folds, and it gives more of a cape quality to it. Black of the motorcycle press photographer's helmet. Well, the press photographer who rides on a motorcycle and therefore wears a helmet. Plus we'll do a little bit of the roadway. That's okay. So now I just want to come back and hit that little bit of blue that I was saving so the yellow didn't bleed. And that will remind you that these pieces all are for sale. It's a printer printing in the background. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
Sorry.
But to remind you that all of these pieces, you can read about all of my tour paintings on my blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com. There you'll find direct links over to my website, gregleach.com, where you can purchase the paintings. And in a couple of cases, there'll be prints as well. But thank you for taking the time to watch. Please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. That will help other people find it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Have you seen the devil? Do you know how old he is? Both this devil, Dee Dee, and the devil. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it.